What's up, everybody? Today I am here with a very quick video to talk on romance scam psychology and for working with romance scam victims. I have seen so many people abuse romance scam victims to the point where they're berating them, they're yelling at them, they're treating them like horrible people, but that's not how to do it. The way you actually work with a romance victim is you be kind to them and you listen to them. What happens is their bodies get stuck in a very high level of stress. They specifically get stuck in the sympathetic nervous system or their fight or flight response, and they don't know how to downregulate that, aka down to the rest and relax or the parasympathetic nervous system. There's been a lot of research over the last couple of years on this, and the Huberman Labs podcast did an amazing talk on breathing and the science of that. It was a 2.5 hour long podcast, and it goes to the mechanics of the muscles, the benefits of the breath, the fact that when you take a big breath in, your heart actually expands. When you breathe out, it actually constricts, and you have a variable heart rate, and that plays into a lot of things too. I'm not going to go into the details. If you're interested in that, I will link it below. Highly recommended it. I've listened to the podcast twice. I would say I'm going to listen to it a third time. But the piece I wanted to kind of give out there for the people who are working with victims, either if they're victim advocates, if they're identifying romance scam victims, if they're working with money mules, so many of these people that I observed, that I've noticed, that I've worked with, their bodies literally get stuck in a high level state of stress and don't know how to down-regulate that. Based on the Huberman podcast research and based on what they were able to find, they were able to find something that was called cyclic breathing that is able to quickly nuke the body to go from a high state of stress down to a very calm level of stress. So the way it works is when you breathe in, you have your diaphragm that's down here under your ribs. So if you put your hand on your ribs where it kind of curves down, that spot up and under there, that's where your diaphragm is. And in addition to that, most of the victims will be breathing from up here, which causes a lot of stress. They don't know that they have a muscle that they can actually, when you breathe in, that muscle actually goes down, and then when you breathe out, that actually comes back up. And when you bring your breathing there and actually retrain your body, you're able to kind of take the stress and the anxious and a lot of the nerves from up here to go further down here. So I'm editing this in post. I wanted to make one quick reference. When I was talking about bringing your breath down to your stomach, what I mean by that is you bring your awareness down. And for those who don't have a very high level of introspection, what I mean by that is if you were to look across a room and notice a can of Coke, that same muscle that you would use to notice that can of Coke, notice the fact that you have that muscle right there behind your stomach. Feels weird, doesn't it? All right, back to the video. Another way to think of it from a surface area perspective. All through our chest, we have our intercostal muscles, which are on the back of our ribs. There's not a lot of meat there. There's not a lot of stuff there. And when we go and breathe from up here, we get super worked up, super anxious, and it hurts. So when you see a lot of people breathing from their chest and everything, they need to actually bring that breathing down and bring it back down to their stomach. And when you do that, it reroutes that breathing down to its more natural path as opposed to being up here. So the way you do the breathing technique is you're going to fill up your lungs starting from your stomach, eventually get up to your chest and fill that up. Once you have all of your lungs filled up, you're going to take one more big breath in through your nose and then breathe it out and sigh it out for as long as you can out of your mouth. When we're doing this breathing, we're going to be breathing in through our nose because of the mechanics and the way it works, and not going to get to the technical bits of it, but breathing in through your nose is the more efficient way. So for those who are working with the victims, here's how you do it. So again, put your hand on your stomach. So breathe in, and my stomach is filling up, so I'm going to bring it back up here. And now that I have it up here, I'm going to take one more breath at the top. Now my lungs are filled. And again, sigh out. And as you sigh it out, focus on releasing everything from all the muscles here in your chest, all your stomach, and again all through the rest of your body. So we're going to do that 4 more times. And what's going to happen is because you're doing that and working all of these other muscles, my body seriously feels like its temperature just raised like 5 more degrees. But I feel a lot more calmer. My headspace is a lot clearer. I'm able to think more clearly and everything. And the pressure that I had from the first couple minutes of breathing is still not there. I'm an anxious person, so I got anxiety here all the time, and that's just me. But it's something where that was able to help relieve some of the pressure for that. So if you're working with a romance victim or a money mule or somebody who is very, very worked up, have them do this for 5 times. And in addition to that, of actually teaching this, you need to practice it yourself too. One of the caveats that you'll also learn in doing this, the deeper that you go and the more you practice this, you also end up undoing a lot of your own traumas, because with the way the body and the nervous system works, it actually helps clear a lot of extra gunk out. And you're going to be looking at this and be like, Ronnie, what are you talking about? You'll find out. But seriously, practice this yourself so you can teach to the victims to help them calm themselves out. In addition to that, when it comes to doing breath work, I actually practice this for a lot in the evenings and everything. Like there will be times where I'll be practicing breathing techniques for about 45 minutes because it completely down-regulates your entire nervous system. When you get your body to a state of being able to work with it and being nice and calm like that, a lot of other better things happen. You're able to think more clearly, your body works better, you're able to articulate things, you don't say a lot when you get nervous doing videos, and it's something where you also get a lot less nervous doing stuff. So and in addition to that, when working with the victims, have them do this and practice this for 5 minutes a day, because that will help them kind of keep their body calm, not just in the moment, but it reflects all throughout their life, and it has so much more benefit. So hope this helps. Hope this helps save some of those victims out there. It helps get them calmed back down to a point where they can actually articulate and understand a lot of stuff, as opposed to being super stressed out. Ronnie Rants, signing off. Cheers, y'all.